Coast Cops. Tonight on Gold Coast Cops, a fantasy drug trip ends in a reality check.
First priority is their health, so that's why we've got two of them gone to the Ambos and one of them's in custody.
A smooth talker meets his match.
That's an unusual photo to take, wouldn't you think? Like, I go on holidays, I don't take photos of scissors and clips all bad.
And a manhunt is on for a robber armed with a machete.
If he's willing to use the machete in an armed robbery, he may be willing to use the machete against us.
It's 4 in the afternoon in Surfers Paradise, and Constable Charlie Moran has been called to an emergency in a rooftop bar.
Apparently there's a drug-affected male who's smashing up property, so apparently there's a Surfers Paradise crew there already, so hopefully we can go and give him a hand and hopefully it doesn't get out of control.
3 tradesmen have taken the party drug fantasy with disastrous consequences.
They've just knocked off work, gone for a couple of beers, and today they've taken some drugs as well, which has affected them adversely.
One man is writhing on the ground, while the other 2 are barely standing.
The guy who was already out when we turned up, he was damaging some property, he was smashing glass, being unruly. He had to be handcuffed because he started to become violent with the paramedics and the police.
You taking stuff too? He's sitting there face now as well. Yeah, this is fantasy for sure.
Yeah, it's fantasy, man.
If you drink this, you'll be dropping like flies.
Now it's terrible,
Yeah, Membo. He's pretty keen, he doesn't want to sit on the ground, but he might not have a choice.
And he doesn't. Fortunately, the rap team are there to give him a soft landing.
That's it, and... Beautiful.
Look at that, leaning against that.
Excellent, mate. Good work. Fantasy or GHB affects people differently, and the other 2 males we were talking to, they were fine. 5 minutes later, just all of a sudden, just hit him.
The second tradie also gets handcuffed as a precautionary measure.
Hey, champion, wanna get some of these on you? Just for your own safety, all right, mate? Fantasy, it definitely messes with their mind. It does weird things to their head. They go in and out of consciousness or different degrees of violent, or it just changes a person.
Calm down, bud.
While the Ambos sedate the first fallen tradie, rap officers keep an eye on the second one.
Still with us, buddy? Just chilling out?
He's had more than just fantasy.
Back in the side, champ. That's it.
1, 2, 3.
The first tradie is on his way to hospital.
Leave it on there.
And the second one is not far behind.
Just trying to stay still, man, while he checks you out. Doing well, man? Stay still, bro. He reckons he took 3 pills. Straight up. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the third tradie has been assessed and is still on his feet.
This guy's coherent enough to go custody or whatever.
And he's got some explaining to do. Police have found a small bottle of liquid fantasy in his bag.
Yours or Darren's? Are yours?
It's not an offence to actually have drugs in your system, but it's only an offence to possess drugs. First priority is their health. So that's why we've got 2 of them gone to the Ambos and one of them's in custody.
It seems a fantasy afternoon, fueled by alcohol, has brought 3 tradies crashing back to reality. Constable Trevor Beeman and his team are patrolling the streets of Labrador.
I love the job. I think it's great. Each day you've got to be prepared to be confronted with the worst, and anything less is good.
Trev pulls over a car on a random licence check.
So at this point in time, we'll hang here, wait to get this phone call, and we'll go from there, all right?
A search uncovers bottles of potentially lethal chemicals. One substance in particular rings alarm bells.
We've located a black backpack in the boot of the vehicle, which contains a small jar of what appears to be iodine.
Iodine is used to make methamphetamine. When mixed with other chemicals, it can make an explosive cocktail. Trev immediately gets on the phone to headquarters for advice.
We've got a jar of iodine and 2 other containers of some crushed up substance. I'm not sure what they are. The iodine is beaten up. He has indicated that it is iodine straight up, but then once questioned, he said, no, I want to remain silent. So I just want to know what the situation is. Do we call Islet?
Islet is the illicit lab investigation team. A special unit set up to respond to chemical emergencies. Trev needs to swiftly ascertain how lethal this situation could get.
Hang on, Chuck, did you locate any bottles of water or anything that looked like water or acid in the vehicle? In a water bottle?
It might have rolled far under the seat, but I've had a look under there.
If there's anything that looks like water, don't touch it, guys. Charlie, there was nothing in the bag to indicate it was a chemistry set or anything like that? Any beakers, any glass items?
No glassware, only just plastic containers.
There is a small Pitsil bag with, what have we got there, 3, 6, 9 tablets in it. Several other diazepam tablets as well. There's 2 other containers, one glass and one plastic container, with a crushed up powdery substance, light brown, in it, with a relatively substantial. It doesn't look like it's just one pill crushed up. I don't know what it is, I've never seen it. Take a guess how many grams you reckon it is, Charlie. You've lifted it up.
50 grams, yeah.
Yep. So we've got the iodine, we just don't know what the other substance in the 2 jars is. Where'd you get it from? Okay, no. Sorry. Yep. Oh, hang on, what's that? Don't shake it. Oh, okay, tattoo ink. Chris, definitely no liquids? No bottles of water. We won't have to call Islet because there's no acids. You guys are under arrest. You have been given your rights to silence and your rights to cautions, okay? So we have reason to believe that those substances are used for an illegal purpose, which requires liquid as well. We're going to transport both of you back to Southport Station with us, and we'll have a chat with you further back there, all right?
The search of the car has turned up some jewellery and other drugs.
And we'll also be dealing at this stage with property suspected stolen and a ice pipe as well that was in the jacket, okay?
For Trev, it's a random stop that's paid off big time.
When it comes to the methamphetamines or the speed, ecstasies, all those, they're made in the backyards of people's houses, they're made in their garages, they're not made in sterile environments. All the chemicals that are mixed in with them, you don't even know half the time. I've been told that they crush up light bulbs in order to put it as a mixture, or use concrete powder to help just make up the compound of the pill. So the more of those fools I can get off the street, the better.
It's 9 p.m. when Senior Constable Adam Dyer responds to a Code 1. A convenience store has been held up and the culprit is at large.
Got a description of a female, dark sunglasses, dark clothing, male, one a mask over his face.
If he's willing to use the machete in an armed robbery, he may be willing to use the machete against us. He's obviously tried to rob a convenience store, which is in itself an act of violence, you know, so we're obviously thinking of this as a high-risk situation and potentially lethal situation as well. Hopefully by getting as many crews into this area, which is what we're doing just now, and saturating the area, we might be able to turn this lad up.
Given the threat the man poses to the public, police are swift to review the shop's CCTV footage.
It does look like the shopkeeper has chased him off out of the store. It also looks like he was in possession of a machete, which will obviously be confirmed from the CCTV footage. It's not something that we would advise shopkeepers to do. Obviously, someone armed with a machete could cause serious injury.
Meanwhile, Adams just spotted a young man fitting a witness's description of the suspect. He approaches cautiously.
How you doing, mate? Yeah, good. Mate, just keep your hands out your pockets for me, slowly.
Next, putting the brakes on a bike rider.
There you go. Excellent. Now you're under arrest.
And later on, disarming a drugged-up driver.
Well, the officer found at the side of the door, we can easily access it.
That doesn't look good at all.
With a machete-wielding teenager loose on the streets of Labrador, Adams stops to question a young man fitting his description.
There's been a male person armed with a knife. Have you got any identification on you at all, mate?
Do I have to get that over to you? I haven't broken a crime.
You do, because you fit the description of someone possibly involved, so we just need to rule you out, mate, okay?
Yeah.
Mate, as soon as we're happy it's not you...
Mate, this is the second time I've been called up tonight already, and I'm just...
How long ago?
About 15 minutes down the road. I just walked out of the spa and another car
Mate, listen, it's because you're fitting that description, okay?
My girlfriend's right here. She's about to walk over.
Awesome.
My dad's name?
Mate, we'll just do a check and then you'll be on your way.
My dad's name?
Mate, not at this stage, no.
No, my ID, I'm going to go.
Mate, we're just going to check your details and then you'll be on your way, okay? All right.
It's an unfortunate coincidence, but with an armed robber on the loose, police can't afford to be anything less than thorough in their search.
Maybe check through the park, eh? Yeah, I'll just drive in, man. Now we've got probably about half an hour, 45 minutes since the incident occurred. At this stage, my sort of thoughts are that there's every chance he's gone to ground somewhere. We've tried to alter his description. He may be a local, he may have gone to an address locally somewhere. He may also have got into a car and made a getaway in the car. He's obviously a dangerous individual, maybe a desperate individual, you know. It would look now like he has got away tonight. We will keep looking and hopefully we will apprehend him because, yeah, the fear is that he does something again.
24 hours later,
Police found a phone on the floor. Turns out that the phone was owned by the offender. From there, the offender has been located, interviewed and charged with attempted robbery and I think willful damage as well, due to the damage in the shop. So, all round, a pretty successful job.
when it comes to rap policing, one thing often leads to another. Senior Constable Blair Casey and Constable Kevin Corbett are out on late-night patrol when they spy a young man riding a bike on the footpath without a helmet.
What are you up to tonight?
Just heading back home, just
From
my mates.
your mates? Where's your mates?
Down at like half there, next to Christine.
What have you been doing down there?
Smoking.
Smoking
Marijuana.
marijuana?
Bit of weed. You got any on you, bro? No, just hop off your bike, mate, and we'll give you a quick search, eh? Empty your pockets on the car here, eh? How much weed did you have? About a gram. How many cones was that, eh?
Eight. About 8 cones. You feeling all right?
You got stuff down your pants, have you? No. No? Just pull them out for us, eh? All right, just pull your trackies down to search your jeans. Just leave your jeans on. You do reek a bit, eh?
A strong smell leads to a bag of cannabis in his pocket. But that's only the beginning.
No, bro, pull your pants up, eh?
Blair suspects this night rider has been doing some shady deals.
So where'd you get the weed off, bro?
Sorry, I'm not willing to share that.
But there's no need. Blair finds an incriminating text in the bloke's phone.
You just buy an ounce. No? I'll have a look down your jocks, bro. Is it down there? Because I'm about to find it if it is, though. He just paid $270.
You want to tell us the truth now?
Get it out, man. There you go. Excellent. Now you're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back.
2 ounces of cannabis suggests the night rider could be dealing. Blair tries to sniff out his supplier.
You're going to tell me where that address is right now, aren't you? No? Because you're buying more than personal use, brother. I'm going to go through your phone and I'm going to find things to other people, aren't I? Because you're buying it off him, you're getting your nice little cachet there, then you're on selling it. We just arrived a kid on Bonyini Drive that just scored 2 ounces off a kid. We were thinking probably an emergency search at his house. All right, we'll go there now. We'll meet you at Robina Station. Bye. Bag it up, man. We'll go to Robina. And we'll see if we can find out who this kid is and then we'll raid his house straight away. In you hop. So you have a good think about how much you want to cooperate with us, okay?
He'll have plenty of time to mull things over down at the watch house. Meanwhile, RAP officers pay a visit to his house and find evidence on a laptop that this 19-year-old is in fact the supplier. He faces 24 charges relating to possession and supply of a dangerous drug. And he won't be riding around Robina without a helmet again anytime soon. Next, a smooth talker meets his match.
That's an unusual photo to take, wouldn't you think? Like, I go on holidays, I don't take photos of scissors and clips or bags.
It's another stunning day in paradise, and Constables Sean Swain and Nick Irby are cruising the highway.
Oh, look at the ocean, looks awesome. Oh my God, look at that. I used to be a professional lifeguard for the City Council for approximately 16 years, and back in 2009 I decided to join the Queensland Police Service. Yeah, we've got the car. So you thought you'd try and drive it forward onto the beach? Both community service, just different clientele.
Look at that glistening.
Good day to be a lifeguard.
While Swaney's surf life-saving days are behind him, he's still doing his bit to save lives. A no-hand cyclist gets a serve.
2 hands for beginners, brother. Thank you. You're right.
And so does a rider with no helmet.
You're on it today.
Swaney and Nick get a call to assist Senior Constable Blair Casey with a car search. Blair's pulled over a driver who is upfront about being a drug user.
This bloke said he likes amphetamine. These are all unused syringes and needles.
When Nick discovers some prescription pills, getting a straight answer out of this bloke is an uphill battle.
So they're not yours?
No, they're not mine.
So when did you see those last?
I don't see them. I just know my grandma takes them, and you know, we go out for lunch quite often, so.
And she just leaves her pills in your car?
No, but if they're going to come from somewhere, that's where they would come from.
The stories that crooks come up with, you know, when they're found on different properties, it's always a bit of a laugh. On the odd times that people trying to pull the wool over your eyes.
What's that?
That's one of those clear cigarette papers you can get.
That's an unusual photo to take, wouldn't you think? Like, I go on holidays, I don't take photos of scissors and clips all bags.
You know, these only come from Amsterdam.
What was inside the clips all bags then?
Don't know. There when we got there. It's used by many people.
Often when you ask these guys direct questions, it doesn't give them time to come up with an answer. If you beat around the bush, it gives them time to come up with a story.
Hey, what's this text message on your phone? Thanks, but I'll wait, so only one trip. What's that in regards to?
Oh, I don't know. It's some idiot I met one night. Yeah, so.
50s, what do you mean by 50s?
I don't know, man. Probably what it sounds like. Not that I'm after that at all. No.
The text message is certainly related to some type of drug supply.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's a major drug supply. However, he's obviously passing on, probably prescription drugs. That's what it looks like.
The search also turns up a potentially lethal weapon. But this smooth talker has an answer for everything.
I've only half unloaded my car. I've only half unloaded my car.
But the officer found it on the side of the door where you can easily access it.
You didn't find it in the back on the seat or something? It was right there. Right there. That doesn't look good. Your seat? No. That doesn't look good at all. No, look, I'm not one to do that either. No, seriously, I've just come back from the snow. I've been out on the farm for 2 weeks straight.
Okay, well, you've been out on the farm for 2 weeks straight. How did you pack your bags?
I'm not sure. I just packed it. You know, I didn't put any thought into it.
Mate, what's going to happen? I'm going to write you a notice to attend court. Reason being, one's the knife, and secondly is possession of the medication. And I'll write you a receipt and a notice, man.
He did have an answer for everything. I think he probably got off lightly today. Who knows, tomorrow, the next, he may have had more drugs in the car and maybe a few more text messages. But nevertheless, a good intel submission would be put in, and who knows, he may get a visit from police in a couple of weeks' time.
Tonight on Gold Coast Cops.
Nice and wet and freshly done.
A serial tagger gets a serious wake-up call.
Hey, you like spray paint all over your fingers, huh? What about that?
A bush bikie blows his stack over a helmet.
Well, they're down to shave it. Yeah. You know, once they can get sun, vitamin D.
And it's God's way or the highway.
He belongs to a cult called the Kingdom of Yowie Cult.
Yes, mate, turn around.
Come in, Georgie.
If that car we're expecting doesn't turn up, then we hit the place at 4:30.
Gregory Sinclair, a.k.a. Chucky, is getting ready to go out on a drug operation.
RAP certainly is not a standalone unit. You can't know everything that's going on the Gold Coast. Our local stations have got a much better handle on their local identities that are causing the problem, and we've got the staff to go in there on numbers and assist them where necessary.
Today, Chucky and the team have been staking out a suburban house. They've received a tip-off that the owner may be dealing drugs.
Everybody in their teams, right up, let's go. Let's hope he's just gone and done his buy.
We've got a fair amount of intel on this address over a sort of prolonged period of time. We sort of suspect that there's cannabis being dealt out of the address, so we're hoping that we're gonna have some success with that.
A dozen RAP officers surround the house. They're hoping to catch the supplier as well as the dealer.
Please, stay where you are, mate. Get your hands out your pocket, please. Come here. It's through here.
You right, Harley?
Just keep your hands where they are.
Bedroom clear. Premises are clear upstairs.
But there's no sign of the supplier.
You're all detained for the purpose of the search warrant, okay?
And the suspected dealer is surprisingly well-mannered.
I'm not going to go anywhere, sir.
They're actually quite friendly towards us, but then the serious business hasn't started. We don't search until the dog comes through us. You're keen to go, aren't you? You just want to go in and find it.
With the group corralled outside the property, the drug dog gets to work.
The initial search by the dog has indicated certain locations for a number of drugs. The garage has certainly got some marijuana in it, to the point where the dog actually became somewhat disorientated because there were so many bits of marijuana around, he couldn't decide which one he had to find. It's in boxes, it's in bowls, it's in jugs, it's in bongs, it's in just everywhere throughout the garage. Dog coming through. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Senior Constable Adam Dyer has just made a discovery in the kitchen.
Got a text sheet in the kitchen. They're using a blackboard. Looks like they're writing names and phone numbers and amounts of money. And we've also got what we think is probably about $2,000 in the kitchen. It's just a sign that there is dealing and possibly dealing on a sort of substantial level going on from this address.
With the evidence mounting, their gentleman suspect decides to come clean.
Absolutely everything you see in this garage is mine.
So do you make a living out of selling cannabis?
100% no.
But there's a story.
Barely any of my friends smoke. There's probably only 3 or 4 of us that actually do.
If a person rings you up, they might come around and get a bud or something off you, a bit of cannabis. How does that transaction take place?
Well, it does depend. Most of the time I do just give them something small, but if they do want something larger, then I have to weigh it up and price them accordingly.
And you'd receive cash for that?
Yeah.
Whether you get 1 tablet, 1 bag, 1 trunk full, if you give it to another person, in any manner, shape or form, you have supplied that person with a dangerous drug. He's openly admitted to supplying about 20 people this week during the interview. He's been charged with supplying a dangerous drug, possession of a dangerous drug, possession of utensils for use of a dangerous drug. We would hope that a penalty imposed on him will be enough to say, don't do it again.
It's 2 a.m. in Nerang. Constable Chris Mackay and Senior Constable George Leosides are out on night patrol.
It is satisfying when you make an arrest. You put in the good work, you put in the hard work, and you can turn up empty-handed. Other times, you know, something will just fall on your lap. You just get lucky.
George and Chris are going to need some luck tonight as they battle the wet weather to hunt down a pair of vandals. A local resident has reported seeing 2 young blokes out on a graffiti spree.
They're all under the bridge, man. They're just taken off.
Go to the male, I'll underwear, black top, another male, white top with a hood.
George and Chris check the area for fresh graffiti.
For the offence, we've got to find a time, date and place. We've got a time, date. We need the exact place of where the offence occurred.
Nice and wet. See, this has been freshly done. It's still a little bit wet. It's coming off on the fingers.
I personally hate vandalism. People think that it might not be such a big issue, but it actually costs the government millions of dollars a year, and it's actually an indictable offence. You can actually go to jail.
We've done a loop around to the underneath part of the bridge. I've seen a couple of males look like they were graffitiing. They've obviously seen the police car and they've taken off on foot.
Then, as luck would have it, a suspect fitting the description steps out of the shadows. Before they can question him,
What are they talking to you, mate? What do you mean I've got a f***ing runner? Hey?
he arcs up.
Stay there, mate. Stay there. Where'd you come from?
Pub? Pub? Yeah. What pub? That's a hotel.
So what, you got spray paint all over your hands?
Spray paint?
Yeah, spray paint all over your fingers. Huh? What about that? Hey? Anything, mate? Anything? Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Wait, at this stage you're under arrest for graffiti. Do you understand that? I find it weird how we're here doing a spray painting job. We pull you up, soaking wet, grass in your hair, spray paint all over your hands, all over your jacket. But it's not you. You're puffing hard, you're breathing hard. Why are you breathing so hard then?
Breathing hard at all.
Aren't you? Alright.
Breathing fine, mate.
What'd you put?
Now, you're going to notice in here. Graffiti.
What a surprise.
If the shoe fits.
A court notice for a previous graffiti charge suggests they have at least one culprit in custody.
Hasn't learned his lesson, has he?
We'll do a loop around. We'll see if we can find where he's dumped the cans and see if we can find any more tags that he's spray painted this evening.
There you go. What he's done is he's done some spray down there and he's run this way, he's ditched his can and then he's come into this new estate here, probably with his mates. And we've got him on the outer side of the fence. So he's probably got a couple of buddies still hanging out in there too.
But if this bloke has any accomplices, they've left him to take the rap.
It's just a bit more than a coincidence, isn't it? When you got him in the location, you got a can, you got paint all over his hands. I'm sure it was just a coincidence, eh? I mean, what do you think about that? Salvo? Did you use this graffiti up the road? No? Okay, mate, I believe that you did. Right, and that's why you're being arrested.
The witness shows up and puts an end to the discussion.
So what I've seen is juveniles that shouldn't be out on the streets, causing more problems for the area, making it look untidy, and continually costing the government, the taxpayers, money when they should be home. I want to know what their parents are doing. Honestly, these kids are young enough, they should be home in bed.
But tonight, this bloke is in for a sleepover in the watch house.
Having the witness turn up and actually ID our offender was perfect. It was the icing on the cake.
Relationships in the police force are not uncommon.
Got plenty of history with us.
3 members of Senior Constable Christy LaRocca's family are police officers. She's in the rap unit, partner Ben is a dog squad officer, and Blitz is a tracker dog.
Blitz is Ben's dog.
Pretty happy to have him as my partner. So his job is to track offenders, essentially, that leave a scene on foot, that take off. Good fella.
We try and have our days off together. It does get a little bit hard with shift work. I think Ben does get worried sometimes. I could be walking into a situation where it does become dangerous. During my shift, I'll get a text from him and just making sure everything's okay.
All right, I'll give you a call soon. Okay, bye.
When we're at home, we try not to talk about work. We leave work at work.
Hey, Blitzy.
Who is it, bloody?
Good boy. Hey, boy.
Blitz is a very different dog when he's on the job.
Good boy.
But a bit of a cuddly teddy bear at home.
Good boy.
They get on pretty well. I think he sees her as a bit of a soft touch on occasion. He plays to that, I'm sure. Hey, mate.
I let him in the house. I love Blitz. He's part of the family now, so I couldn't imagine us without him.
Next, a push bikie blows his top.
I need this like a freaking hole in the head.
You can get one if you have get hit without a pushy helmet.
And later on, Leezy and Josh get up close and personal with a cool customer.
Bit short on underwear, mate. Laundry day?
Yeah, man.
The Gold Coast is a magnet for people from all walks of life. And an encounter with the rap police can bring out the best and worst.
Hey, one breath test for you.
Just wondering why you're not wearing a helmet and riding your bike.
Yeah, I'm just on the phone, mate.
I'm just glad that I won that one.
Senior Constable Glenn Shaw and Constable Nick Irby have just spotted a man riding a push bike without the proper headgear.
Glen Shaw, Gold Coast Police.
That's nice.
Mate, no helmet on your pushy today?
Never wear it.
All right, got some idea on you there, mate?
No, don't.
Nothing with your name on it?
Nah.
What about in your bag?
Oh, actually, I've got a kick up.
Oh, there we go. Have you had a ticket before for not wearing a helmet?
Plenty of times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, heaps of times.
Might take about $30 for a helmet.
I don't care. I don't like wearing helmets.
I've seen it at Mermaid Waters
yeah,
before.
we've been over this a million times.
Okay, well, if you wore a helmet, you wouldn't get a ticket.
Well, I don't like wearing it.
Well, you'll keep getting the tickets.
Well, then keep giving me tickets.
Okay, sure. No problems.
Issue me another ticket.
No worries. Will do. I'm pretty laid back. I'm pretty casual, but I'll treat people how they treat me. How many have you had now?
Oh, mate. Too many to count.
Imagine how many helmets you could have bought.
That's not the point. The point is, why are you telling me what to do?
All you have to do is put a helmet on your head.
Mate. What if I walk and I fall and trip over and smack my head, which I've done before? What, am I supposed to wear a helmet for that too? No, I don't like wearing it. Not only that, I get psoriasis on my head. I shouldn't probably be wearing this. Look at that, I shave it.
Yeah.
You know what, so I can get sun. Vitamin D. What's it do? Gets rid of it.
Okay. So please don't ride without a helmet.
Over at Burleigh Heads, Constables Josh Ford and Dan Lees are dealing with a remarkably friendly customer who's been pulled over for driving an unregistered car.
What are you doing down here this morning?
Just about to catch up with a mate just down at the Nook. Have a bit of coffee, mate.
Well, you might have a quick search of your vehicle, make sure there's nothing in there in relation to drug offences.
Yeah, man, that's all good.
You got everything on your hand there.
Oh, silly stuff I did. Got addiction and stuff like that, mate.
Bit of young age.
Bit of stupidity.
Yeah, we've got a few of those on my body somewhere.
Do ya?
Being able to pull over the motorists that are unlicensed and unregistered often leads to further crimes. Get to poke our noses in, have a smell around.
Bit short on underwear, mate. Laundry day?
Yeah, man.
Just for your information, I'm Constable Ford from Gold Coast Rapid Action Patrols.
Pleasure to meet you, mate.
Just got Josh.
The expired rego is the least of his problems.
He's also unlicensed.
But this chap is cooperative to a fault.
But I can do that. I can go in for you, man. I'll go in this morning if you'd like.
Well, the fact is you have driven here.
Like, I just bought this thing and he told me I got 6 months reg. I bought it a month ago, 2 months ago.
He's tried to talk his way out of it. At the end of the day, you know, if you're unlicensed or not, or if your car's registered, there's a sticker on the front of your windscreen. It's not that hard.
No.
4 bits of paper for you today. That's your field property receipt you just signed for your plates.
Yep.
And when they all but throw the book at him...
Make sure you go, otherwise a warrant will be issued for you, OK?
Oh, for sure. I've got to go.
He manages to keep his cool.
Thanks, guys. Hey,
hope your day gets a bit better. Go for a surf or something.
But Glenn and Nick's day just took a turn for the worse.
Don't mind, Gravy.
It seems they haven't seen the last of their aggro push bikey.
There was nothing sure of, was it? There was absolutely nothing sure of. We're back at the same problem.
Next, a cult member refuses to go quietly.
We want an outstanding warrant.
How do you know? And how come I don't?
An hour ago, Glenn and Nick issued a ticket to a cyclist who refused to wear a helmet. Now, they've spotted the offender again.
Well, I'm going to give you another ticket.
Okay, give me another ticket.
I don't mind giving him a chance, then another chance, and then I'll have to arrest you next time.
I need this got a freaking hole in the head.
You get one if you have get hit without a pushy helmet.
Yeah?
This is your final warning. I will wait up the road for you. If you are riding your bike, you are forewarned that you will be arrested to prevent the repetition and continuation of an offence.
But this is going to continue to happen.
Don't ride without that helmet. See you later.
Good.
I will be up the road for you. Please do not ride that bike.
By pushing his luck, this bloke's ended up pushing his bike.
He thinks he can just get away with it, though.
Not today.
Over in Coomera, Senior Constable George Leocides and Constable Chris Mackay are also dealing with a bloke who is a law unto himself. They've just pulled him over on an outstanding warrant.
Hey, driver, how you going? Mate, do you have a licence on you? Mate, just the registered owner of this vehicle. We've just got some flags we need to talk to you about. Have you got your licence, any ID on you? Yeah, mate, yep. So the person who owns this vehicle, we've got listed that they're actually wanted on a warrant, and we believe that that's you, mate. So do you have any ID or anything?
What's your name, bud?
Okay.
One of the warnings that he has is he belongs to a cult called the Kingdom of Yowie cult. According to the flags, it says that he doesn't believe in state law, so he refuses to accept us as a police service, and basically thinks that he's a law unto himself. Yeah, mate, you're under arrest.
You're under arrest. Under your belt. How'd you get? No, it's not assault. I've asked you 3 times to provide some...
No,
come on out.
Have I broken any law?
You have, mate. Turn around, turn around. Are you dodgy?
But you're wanted on an outstanding warrant. You're not giving us your details.
Unbelievable. He's been very uncooperative, not providing us with any details, but we've had a look at our photos on the system where it's definitely him.
I don't consent to this.
No, you don't need to consent, all right?
For the second time, I don't consent to this.
You're under arrest, as I believe you're the registered owner of this vehicle. The registered owner of the vehicle is wanted on an outstanding warrant. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
I don't consent to this.
He can withdraw his consent all he wants. He's wanted on an outstanding warrant. Either he's got an identical twin brother or it's him.
And I don't consent to this.
You're wanted on an outstanding warrant.
How do you know? And how come I don't know?
I've never met anybody that wants to be arrested.
You deal with people from all walks of life. It helps a lot not to take things too seriously, not to take things to heart when people try to get under your skin.
Don't you work from
Oh, well. Let's wrap this up.
Hey, soft.
The best thing about working at the RAP would be just the excitement.
Get out of the vehicle! Get out of the vehicle!
Today we're good to go with South Street Soldiers.
Loads of money.
Loads of money.
It's the Hells Angels guys are known CMG.
Today we found the methamphetamine lab.
We're going to need to borrow their van to throw him away.
This is what we work for, mate.
One of the things I love about this job is you come in to start your shift and you have no idea what you're going to go to.
You've got a stick in me, boy.
I want everything that's down your decks out.
Nothing stashed in your jeans and your jocks? No, nothing.
No, I don't want to look at your junk. I want to make sure that you've got nothing stashed down the front of your undies. Jim?
Every person's different. Every person has a different story.
You just want to go to the front door for me?
Yeah, I was just doing something. No, I thought that was a car park.
That's the worst car park I've ever seen.
So why you thought you'd try and drive it forward onto the beach?
think I could call my mum.
Your mum, do you think she'll come pick you up? Yeah, it sort of gives you a bit of a feeling that the job is worthwhile, that you do it for all the right reasons.
So you use that knife to threaten someone with?
What's wrong with you?
Being able to trust your team is paramount.